A curious woman named Pandora possessed a gift that became her greatest weakness. A mysterious sealed box in her home held a dark, forbidden secret. Would she obey the gods, or would her burning desire unleash doom upon the world? Follow her quiet struggle and discover the heavy price of untamed curiosity. The ancient world was once a flawless paradise. No sickness existed. Mortals lived in endless sunshine. Abundant joy filled every sweeping valley across the earth. Zeus looked down from the high mountain peaks. Anger burned deep in his immortal heart. The mortals possessed the stolen gift of fire. The Sky King sought a clever and lasting revenge. He called upon the great craftsmen of Olympus. Deep in a fiery forge, a master blacksmith worked. He gathered river clay and soft earth. His skilled hands molded a figure of stunning grace. This was the first human woman. Her name was Pandora. Every god stepped forward to grant her a special blessing. Aphrodite gave her unmatched beauty. Athena draped her in shimmering silver robes. Hermes bestowed upon her a quick mind and persuasive speech. Her greatest gift was a deeply inquisitive soul. This burning curiosity would prove most dangerous. Before sending her to Earth, Zeus presented a grand wedding gift. It was a heavy wooden box bound in dark iron. Elaborate carvings of twisting vines covered its surface. A golden lock secured the heavy lid tight. Zeus handed her the heavy iron key. His cold, piercing eyes locked onto hers. He ordered her to keep the box forever closed.
No.
She must never peek inside under any circumstance. Pandora nodded and promised to obey his stern command. A gentle wind carried her down to the mortal realm. She arrived at the sunlit home of Epimetheus. He was a gentle and trusting man. His wiser brother had warned him about gifts from above. Epimetheus forgot all caution when he saw Pandora. Her radiant smile melted all his lingering doubts. They celebrated a joyous wedding under the blooming olive trees. Life on Earth remained peaceful and completely free of pain. The newlyweds spent their days wandering through fragrant meadows. They ate sweet berries and drank cool spring water. The mysterious wooden box sat quietly in a dark corner. Pandora dusted it every single morning. She polished the golden lock until it gleamed. For many months, she never thought of opening it. The warning from the Sky King echoed in her memory. Time passed. The golden lock began to catch the afternoon sunlight. Intricate carvings seemed to shift and twist like living shadows. Her inquisitive mind slowly awakened. What could a king of gods hide inside such magnificent wood? To wonder was her fundamental nature. These thoughts buzzed like restless bees in her mind. She tried to distract herself with weaving and singing. Her eyes always wandered back to the dark corner. The iron band seemed to pulse with a strange energy. One quiet afternoon, Epimetheus left to gather ripe figs. Pandora remained completely alone in the silent house. A strange stillness hung heavy in the warm air. She walked slowly toward the carved wooden chest. Her heart beat rapidly against her ribs. She knelt on the woven rug beside the heavy object. A faint whispering sound seemed to leak through the dark wood.
Tell me your secrets.
Tiny voices begged for freedom from within.
Listen closely to the magic within.
Let us out right now. We will bring you wonderful treasures and endless joy. The temptation was a physical weight on her chest. Her fingers traced the cold iron edges. The heavy golden key hung securely around her neck. She slipped the leather cord over her head. Her hands trembled slightly as she held the shiny metal. The suspense is at its peak. Before we discover the young woman's fate, join our community, so you won't miss what comes next. Pandora slid the cold key into the golden lock. A sharp click echoed through the empty stone room. The heavy latch sprang loose with a sudden snap. She only meant to take one tiny, quick look. She lifted the heavy lid just a fraction of an inch. A cold, foul wind exploded outward. It struck her face with terrifying force. The room instantly grew dark and freezing cold.
No! Stop!
Horrible shadows burst free from their ancient prison.
You have freed me, finally!
Swarms of winged creatures poured into the peaceful home. These twisted shapes were disease, sorrow, envy, and pain. They buzzed angrily like a cloud of venomous hornets. Their leathery wings beat against the stone walls. They stung Pandora deeply on her arms and cheeks. She screamed in terror and desperate shock.
Please! What have I done?
Pain was a completely new sensation in the mortal world. Tears of pure anguish spilled from her wide eyes. She threw her entire weight against the heavy wooden lid.
I must close it.
The iron latch slammed shut with a deafening crash.
No. No.
She collapsed onto the floor in bitter, weeping despair. Darkness rapidly spread out the open windows. The evil spirits flew across the beautiful sunlit earth. Flowers withered directly beneath their foul, poisonous shadows. Mortals everywhere suddenly felt the sharp bite of sickness. Grief and anger shattered the perfect golden age forever. Pandora lay crying beside the terrible wooden box. Epimetheus rushed inside and found his wife weeping in pain. Stinging cuts suddenly appeared on his own arms.
You will not leave this place.
Panicked, he demanded to know what she had done.
Please, I must.
She pointed a shaking finger at the locked trunk. A sudden, totally different sound emerged from the dark wood. It was not a cruel, buzzing hiss. A sweet, clear voice called out gently. "Let me out." "I am trapped in the dark." "My light can heal your pain." Pandora looked up at her frightened husband. They had already released immense suffering into the world. Could anything worse remain inside the iron prison? Epimetheus nodded slowly in silent, fearful agreement. They had nothing left to lose. Grabbing the heavy lid one final time, she pulled. She flung it wide open with a swift motion. A brilliant, shimmering light shot up toward the ceiling. It was a beautiful spirit with glowing, iridescent wings. This gentle, radiant creature was named Hope. Hope fluttered gracefully around the dark, gloomy room. She brushed her warm wings against Pandora's bleeding cuts. The terrible, stinging pain vanished almost instantly. She touched the fearful shoulders of Epimetheus. A deep, soothing calm washed over his troubled heart. The glowing spirit flew out the wide stone window. She chased after the dark swarm of terrible miseries. Forcing the wicked plagues back into the chest was impossible. She would follow them forever across the mortal earth. Whenever sorrow struck, her healing light would arrive closely behind. Curiosity may unleash terrible storms upon our peaceful lives. Yet in our darkest moments, hope will always remain.